Alright, so today we've got a J. Stevens and Arms, J. Stevens Arms and Tool Company. Read this the right way here. Arms and Tool Co. Chickley, yeah. No. Chicopee. Yeah, Chicopee Falls, Massachusetts, USA. Patent, PATD, March 19. And that's about it. It's pretty hard to see this on here, but maybe I'll try to get a good picture for you guys to put up here. But I was given this shotgun to me by my grandmother the other day, and I tried to find more on it, and it was very hard, very difficult. This is a model 335. I guess it was my great-grandfather's, and he was the original owner of it and the one that bought it. But anyway, I could not find anybody breaking one of these down. I found a couple other ones, but they looked like the later models. This looks like a more early model. But there is not a whole lot of information out there on these J. Stevens firearms because of, I guess there was some fire that happened way back in the day that just pretty much destroyed all of the serial numbers and documentations on their stuff. So I'm sure you probably found this because you also could not find anything, just like I couldn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this thing down for you guys and show you what's inside. Let's get to it. Okay, so first thing we need to do is take this plate off right here for the buttstock. So you're gonna need a long screwdriver and a smaller screwdriver, both flat heads. But we will go ahead and take these off. Put those aside, and back down in here there's another screw, and it's way down in there. So get your long screwdriver out. then once you get that loosened, doesn't look like it's loose all the way yet. And then that comes off. And there is your bolt. Here is the stock. This one's a little cracked in some areas. Had some rough times in its life, it looks like. But we'll set that over there. And that's the stock off of it. Now, I guess I could have done this first, but you have to take this off. And this pops off like that. Like so. Now these, see how these are really stiff. And that's because it is not cocked right now. I have it so it's not cocked. But took that off, put that aside, and let's take the barrel off. So you're gonna pull this thing over, lift it up, and it all comes out like that. So there's the barrel. And this one has a 1. It's got a 1 stamped on it. And I don't know what that's for, but there's the barrel. We'll, let's put this over here. So, now we're at this part, this piece. And what we can do here is these bottom screws. These ones right here, and this one up here, and this one right here. You take all those out. We'll start with this one. Push this over and loosen that. Pull that out. And then right down in here, there's a little piece of metal. Push down on that, and it will release this back. We'll take this one off next. Okay, mine's a little warped or something because I always have to push this to get that back in there, but nonetheless, make sure you kind of keep your screws so you know where they all go, because they're all different sizes. But now on this bottom part, take that off, put that aside, and that takes this off. And we'll take these off. And then once you take those off, this whole piece comes out. So when I first did this, I had to take my screwdriver and kind of pry underneath and pretty much just kind of gently get it open. And then once I did that, I just popped it open here. I think I did. Let me make sure. Yeah. So that comes right off like that. Boom. Put that aside. Now we got the guts, the inside here of this, and I haven't seen any of them looking like this that I've tried to do some research on. But the next step, so we've got these springs right in here, and these springs are pretty tough, but what you want to do is you want to take this piece off next. So this piece comes off, and that's obviously holding down this is for the trigger. So one hits, pretty much you got these two hammer pieces right here, and one's for the left and one's for the right, and pretty much, you know, one pushes this down, the other pushes this down, and it releases this, and you know, these screws hold in the hammer. This screw, the one that we're going to take out next, holds in those two pieces. So we'll take that out. Take those out and put these over here. And this one, I don't know if yours will be like that, but this one, it's got a little L on it, and that's for the left side. Yeah. So if we put them back in there, then the L is on the left side of the gun. So there's that. Now we are right in here. So these springs right here is where it started getting a little tricky, I guess, for me, but these springs are pretty tough. And what you need to do is you need to take your screwdriver and you have to push in on those things and lift them out from that little groove there. And be careful, because when I first did this, they both flew out. So, you know, don't lose those. It's extremely hard to find parts for this thing, and I think I'm gonna have to get some of these parts in here machined, because it's just every site that I've been on, they don't have anything. But so you take those two springs out, And then that allows you to get to these hammers. These are the hammers right in here. They pretty much get cocked up like that as you know, that's why these were stiff, because as you tilt the gun down, it opens these two hammers, and then they get caught. They get caught by these bottom. Let's see here. I think they get caught by this. I don't know, but anyway, this thing comes in, catches them, and then they're stuck open like that. Let's see here. See if we can recreate this. So they get caught right there on that, and then once you move the trigger, it fires the hammer down. That spring that's normally right here is what shoots it through. So we got to take these out, and there is a screw on either side. This one, I don't know why that one won't go all the way in, but it doesn't. So I'll take these off. And now these screws, different sizes on different sides, so don't get them mixed up. Obviously you'll know if you try to put the wrong screw in there, because it will not go all the way in, but you can see there's two different sizes, so don't get them mixed up. Put them to the side, and these hammers, they just come, you actually just kind of tilt it and slide and just kind of move it. But here's one, and this one doesn't look as bad, but see, there's where it's striking. There's the hammer part that's striking. Now this other side is one that's not looking too shabby here. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this here. Okay, so pull that one out, and you can see these are different as well, so you don't want to get these mixed up either. But you can see that this one had to have an indent machined on it, so it can clear this spring in here. So don't get those mixed up. But you can see that this one, that one has a little bit of a problem. Along with this right here, it's broke. Completely broke. So yeah, it'll be fun trying to find that piece. And then right down in here, you can see that we have two flatheads. Now these flatheads are holding in your pins down here. So as you can see, I've got one pin right here, but I can't see anything on the other. And that's because you're going to find out here real soon that one's broke. So let's open that up. And just loosen those enough to where you don't take them all the way out, because they're kind of a pain to get back in. but well, guess that one just came out. But anyway, we'll get the pin. So we can see this pin is pretty well done. Looking pretty bad, and this one doesn't look too much better. But I also noticed that they're different. So they're two different pins, and I'm not quite sure why, but I tried to put this one into this side and it wouldn't fit. So they're definitely two different pins, and yeah, it'd be fun trying to find another one of those as well. We've got this all broken down. It's pretty much as far as I want to go with it. I haven't messed with this piece, and I don't think I'm going to, but it looks like you just take out that screw and I don't know. I really don't know how far it goes after that, but not something that I really want to mess with because I don't I don't have the parts to fix this shotgun. So I mean, I can see several things wrong with this. Like right here, it's got it's not like the other side. It's pretty worn down, and that might be why it's not fully cocking it, but this side is not. So this is obviously not a firearm that I would fire as it is right now, and I don't even think that I would fire it after I got it fixed, just for the simple fact that the stock is pretty cracked, and the barrel's got an indent on it somewhere. What rail? Alright, I gotta let my dog out. Alright, so we are going to first put our pins back in. And this was a little tricky, but you're gonna have to kind of get your screwdriver and finagle it in there. Once you get it set, get your screw, and you kind of got to hold it and kind of fit it in and let it slide right in there. Tighten her down. Get the other one. Kind of drop it in there too and push it on in. Make sure the flat piece is pointing upward so the screw catches it. And this is probably one of the more difficult parts of putting this back together, because you got to kind of line it up right and then push it in. think put the wrong one in that side, so that's what I was saying. They don't they both don't fit. You gotta get the right sides. And yeah, this was over here. So, take this other screw. Get it in there. Get our other side in there. Tighten it down. And then after you tighten those two screws down, you know, kind of push it down, and you'll see that it catches. The other side doesn't work that well because the pin's real busted, but just make sure that they're kind of on there. They are. So now we're going to move on to putting these hammers back in. And like I say, one side goes in one and the other side goes in the other. You cannot get them the opposite or they will not work. You got this beveled edge on this side to clear that spring, and it slides in too. So you have them both slid in there. And now we're going to put these screws in. Kind of line the hole up. And remember, you got one screw that's longer than the other. So the longer screw goes on this side. And maybe the screw's not supposed to be longer because, I mean, it doesn't go all the way in. So maybe this is the wrong screw. Could be my only guess. But maybe yours are both kind of the same or whatever. I don't know. But that's how mine is. So this is the broken one on this side. So kind of goes back in there like so. And now we have our hammers in. And this hammer, I think that it's, you know, it's probably a bunch of things, but it's knocking up against the safety. So I don't know, maybe these parts were all separately machined, I don't know. But anyways, we'll put the springs back in next. So you grab your spring, stick it in there, and get your screwdriver. And I think I had this one on this side, so let's go there. But you push it in and push it down, make sure it locks behind your trigger or your hammer. Get the other one in and snap it into place. Now we have both of our springs back in. Now we can put these two pieces in. And this gets a little tricky because you got to kind of have them both lined up and sitting on there. Kind of screw it in, and that's how that looks. It's screwed right in there. So now that's done. Well, no, we got one more piece right here to hold these down. So we get this piece, put it back on top with its screw. Of course, it's going to give me some issues. It's a very small screw. Alright, we get that. Tighten her down. Like so. And that looks like it's off a little bit. You can see how that's a little higher than that, so I'm going to fix that. So there's that. Now put this plate back on. Now with mine, it's pretty tight right in here on either side. It's not that tight down here. You see that side kind of slides right in. This top side and this other side is not. So I kind of had to give this a little bit of a beating here. I think I also loosened this side a little bit. Yep. And then it kind of snapped down a little bit better. But yeah, you kind of push that in there. And now I couldn't really slide this, so I took my hammer. It looks like somebody else has done it before too, because this kind of busted it up down here, but kind of hit it so they all lined back up. And then we get our screws. Put all these. Those in, retighten this one again because we just loosened it. Alright, got those. Let's put the trigger guard back on. See the screw. Alright, so that's done. Now we're going to move to the top. Again, we got to push this back over. And put our screw in up here. Nope, it's the wrong screw, it's this long one. Tighten that down, push our little piece of metal again, so that slides back over. Okay, and since this is off quite a bit, I wait to put this top screw in once I get the stock back on so I can kind of get some leverage on it. But let's go ahead and put this stock back on. What's going on here, huh? I got a pin that's trying to come out. So tap that back in. Slide this on there. Get our screw. Nice. Well, a little piece of that stock just came off, so get it tight, but not too tight. This little piece of wood just fell off of this. That's nice. So I'll have to fix that. Now we can put this screw in here, and I have to give it a little bit of a pull. Get that on there. All right. Now, put the butt plate back on. Got that on. Now let's put the barrel back on. Gotta cock this back over. Slide her in. And it locks back. And now I don't have, if you remember, I haven't cocked, I have this still, it's uncocked still, so it's a little bit of a problem getting this back on, but a little bit of patience and finesse, you can kind of get this bottom piece to just kind of slide. It's a little tricky. You gotta kind of slide it and then pull it. It's gonna be a pain, but you gotta get these in first and then kind of pull it back a little bit so that this piece gets underneath that groove. So let's see if I can do this. This was the whole reason why I took the gun apart, was because I was having issues at this stage. Alright, so I got it in like that, but you can see it's still really loose right here. And that's because you got to put some downward pressure, kind of pull it out, and get it to snap in there. Ah, so close. There you go. So see, it snapped in, and now it shuts. But that is a pain in the butt. So here you go. J. Stevens and Tool, J. Stevens Arm and Tool Company, model 335. That's how you take her down, tear down, and put her back together. And I wasn't really expecting all this, but I'm gonna have to do some wood repair on this stock. Now I'm gonna glue that back in for now, but I won't be shooting this, so this is something that's gonna just hang on the wall, and that's about it. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and we'll see if I make any other videos on replacing the guts in this, if I can find anybody that will machine them or not. But until then, have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.